Welcome to the Ride With Us podcast, presented by the American Coaster Enthusiasts, the world's largest ride enthusiast organization dedicated to the appreciation, promotion, and preservation of roller coasters around the globe. So please keep your hands and feet inside the podcast at all times as we welcome in your host.
Hello, enthusiasts. It's your host, Jessica Gardner. I don't know about you all, but when I'm feeling the winter blues, which I've been feeling kind of pretty blue lately, and when I am feeling blue, I like to think about the things that make me happy. As a coaster enthusiast, my self-care is thinking about bright, happy, no-stress days walking around a theme park, whether it be for some solo chill time or with a group of 300 ACE members. It means ERT, new experiences, travel, exploring, and making memories. Are you with me? Well, if so, it's time to pull out your calendars, open your computer or a notebook, or maybe even check how many coins you have in your piggy bank, because we are about to break down everything a coaster enthusiast needs to know to plan their 2025. Sound good? Well, I've got some friends here who you know who've done the research for us, and they're going to tell us all about the 2025 ACE events, park-sponsored events, park openings, ride openings, of course, and roller coasters opening that we know so far. We're recording this in February 2025, so if we miss something that comes out in March, don't ding us, okay?
Don't add us.
Don't add us, okay? We're doing the best we can here. No, we love you all. There are three familiar voices on here with me. First, we have Communications Director Gerik Perry. Hi, Gerik. How you doing?
Hey, Jessica. I've been feeling a little blue, but you know what makes me feel better? Talking to you. So
it's so nice to talk to you too. What else do you do? What else is your self-care besides roller coasters, Gerik?
Oh, definitely music. Music can always lift me up into a better mood, so I've been listening to a lot of music lately.
Yes, I love it. And then, of course, we have our social media manager, Doug Perry. Doug, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A little blue, too, but I'm happy to be talking to you.
Can we pick a new color? Can we be like turquoise blue? Can we be different shades of blue? Are we all going to be blue? We gotta.
Okay, I'll be green.
Green. Okay, well, it's not easy being green.
But it's good for the environment.
It's good for the environment. What do you do when you're feeling down?
Yeah, lots of coaster stuff. Lots of looking at coasters on YouTube and everything. But and like Gerik, also music, working on music and movies, going to movies. I love that. That's a pick-me-up for me.
Movies and, oh my goodness, watching coaster videos on social media, especially ACE's YouTube recently. They have been coming out with so much. How about, and when does Legacy of Schwarzkopf drop on YouTube? Does anybody know that?
In March.
Is it in March?
It's coming up soon.
Next month.
Everyone's going to get a chance to see it pretty soon.
Looking forward to seeing that again for sure. And then, last but not least, we have podcast correspondent Gerik Gooch. It's the Gooch.
Hey, Jessica. Good to be with you guys.
What shade of blue are you today, Gooch?
You know, I think I'll choose Carolina blue because it's a nice light blue. You know, I'm trying not to get the blues too much, and really, I don't have any excuse because look, I have a year-round world-class coaster here in Air Force One.
Yeah, you do.
Here in Atlanta, it's open all year long. So, you know, if I need to shake off the blues with some coasters, I'm always available to go do that.
What else cheers you up?
Oh, man, you know, you and I are both in the movie biz. Mm-hmm. I love my movies. And this is that season as well. You know, it's the award season. So I've been seeing tons of movies and
me too.
Getting ready for the Oscars and, you know, judging everything. I just went to see a movie September 5 earlier today.
Oh, how was that?
Oh, it was really good.
I've watched a lot of the awards movies as well. Last night I watched A Real Pain. Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, they go to Poland. Mm-hmm. It made me think of the ACE trip. It made me think of the international, not that I went on it, but I was hoping that we were going to see some roller coasters and things over in that part of the world. But no, it was all the sad stuff, all the tough stuff to see. But a really good movie, really funny and quirky. And yeah, I saw that.
I'm looking forward to that one too. That's streaming on Hulu now, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I missed that one in the theater.
Did you see in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, there was a little roller coaster pop up. So you'll have to watch the movie and see if you can spot the roller coaster and identify it.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. What's it going to be? Oh, what else did I see? Oh, in The Last Showgirl, they were at the Rio. And I was like, oh, go over to Circus.
We could do a whole movie podcast.
Right? About all the roller coasters. Right. Let's get to, well, I just want to say for all of you listening, if you're feeling the blues, we get it. But we're here to cheer you up with getting excited for your 2025. So let's jump into it. As members of the American Coaster Enthusiasts, we're so lucky to have so many events set up for us. And all we have to do is sign up or show up and go register. And there's so many good ones this year. There's so many good ones every year. But this year, a bunch are already listed. It's only February and there's a bunch already listed on the site. And our expert communications director, Gerik Perry, tell us about what you are looking forward to this year and all of the ACE events coming up.
Well, you're right. There's a ton of events. I was surprised going through ridewithace.com/events, and there's so many listed that basically you could go to a regional event and be riding coasters with fellow enthusiasts basically every weekend throughout the year. So there's so much there. You have to check it out. But we're going to focus on the 3 big ones. And I have to give a special shout out to Dan Jones, who's the new events director, and his committee. They're putting together these tremendous events that you're not going to want to miss. And the first one is in Virginia, May 16th through May 18th. It's Spring Conference 2025 at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and King's Dominion.
Woo-hoo!
So that is going to be fun. And of course, King's Dominion, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. So there's a lot of excitement there. And everyone's going to want to ride the new B&M coaster, Rapterra.
That will be out by May, you think?
I'm hoping. They've been testing it.
I think so. Yeah.
All right.
They were already running tests before the year was even over. So I think they're ready to roll.
What's everybody looking forward to? Are you all going? I'm going.
Yes, I'm going. I'll be there.
Yes, I plan to go. So Rapterra is going to be, hopefully, I'd assume we'd get some exclusive ride time on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember when we saw it in the parking lot?
The IF Expo.
At the IF Expo, rolling, we're like, that's Rapterra.
Oh, the trains. That's right. I know.
Trains.
You guys were like, there's only one thing that could be that wide. Right.
So cool. So that's very cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I haven't been to either of those parks since I was a teenager. So I just can't wait to ride the Loch Ness Monster again. I can't wait.
Yes. And Premiere did so much work on Loch Ness Monster last year, so it's running great. And they added new effects in the tunnel, but also the Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge. Yes. I am super excited for that.
I loved the Big Bad Wolf when I was younger. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Are we all looking forward to this or what?
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are 2 of my favorite parks. When I was a kid growing up in Rhode Island, I always said when I was a grown-up, I was going to move to Virginia because I loved Busch Gardens and King's Dominion so much. And unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I love going back to visit there. And especially with the new B&M launch swing coaster, Rapterra, and then Big Bad Wolf family coaster. So awesome. It's
such a good 1-2 combination of parks. And they're only about an hour and 15-minute drive between the two. So it is really amazing. And as I reminded some of the bluesiest the other week who didn't know the history of ACE, that this is where the first ACE event occurred, was at these 2 parks.
That's so cool. That's just awesome. History. We've got to try to find where they took that picture and take another picture there, don't you think? Where they took that group photo.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
So let's talk about some logistics of going. We can't do this with every event, but let's specifically, since SpringCon is coming up first. First of all, for those listening at the time currently, at the date that we are recording this in early February, there is not an option to register yet. Is that correct, Derek?
Correct. It should be coming next month.
Okay.
I believe some of you might know that ACE is coming out with a new website. So to launch the new website, we're going to have the registration for spring conference. So it's going to coincide with each other. So
that's a fun idea.
they'll be testing first.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So the website looks great. It's coming together, and then there'll be a lot of testing. Like before any roller coaster opens, you got to build it and then you got to test it before you can let all the guests on. So that's what we're going to do with the website. You'll be able to register on that new website, and it should be a lot easier than the old one, which is, I think, well needed. There's also going to be hotel information coming soon for the ACE Spring Conference. And there are so many hotels like right at King's Dominion, like right by the parking lot. So they're really convenient. And there's even a hotel in the parking lot of King's Dominion.
And where's the nearest airport?
That would be Richmond International.
Is it Richmond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Richmond would be in between the two. I think maybe Norfolk Airport is also very close to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but it is east of that park. Not instead of Richmond is in between the two. Is in between King's Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So
cool.
Yeah.
And at some point, I've got to see a little bit more of Colonial Williamsburg while I'm there, because I haven't seen that since I was a kid, too. And I used to love that. Am I alone here?
We went as kids with our parents. I remember we went to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and then we did a quick drive-through of Colonial Williamsburg. For some reason, my mom wanted to get out and take everything in, but my dad was just like, no, we're driving through and here's your look and we're getting back to the park.
Your dad sounds like he was a coaster enthusiast too.
he knew, our passion for it. So,
Wow.
That's my memory of Colonial Williamsburg, but I would like to investigate more and see what they have to offer. And there's also a small roller coaster nearby.
The Python Pit.
Yes. So you have to ride that when you're in the area.
Okay. All right. I'm sure all of that will be on there, and we'll have to figure it all out for sure. Awesome. Okay.
I just wanted to say, I don't know. You mentioned that King's Dominion was celebrating their 50th anniversary. I don't know if Busch Gardens is doing anything special for it yet, but it is also their 50th anniversary. Both parks.
Is it
opened,
really?
Yeah, both parks opened in 1975. So they may do something special as well with the opening of the Big Bad Wolf's Revenge. They may have a little 50th anniversary celebration for us as well. Hopefully.
I cannot wait. Those parks are so fun, and BGW is just beautiful, and I just can't. I can't wait. Yay. All right, Derek. Sorry, we sidetracked there. I needed some more information about SpringCon.
Oh, no, I'm happy that you did. So right after May, of course, we have CoasterCon in June. And this year it takes place June 15th through June 20th. And it starts at Six Flags Great America in Illinois. We're going to be at the park June 15th, 16th, 17th. Then Little America in Wisconsin is on June 18th, and Indiana Beach is June 19th and 20th. It's going to be a week full of ERT and behind the scenes tours, meals, of course, the annual business meeting. There's so much to take in. I think there's going to be a screening of The Legacy of Schwarzkopf during that week as well. And of course, Six Flags Great America, we all know, has so many awesome coasters. And then this year, they're opening The Wrath of Rakshasa. So that B&M dive coaster is going up now, and it should be ready, fingers crossed, for when we're there.
Bonus points for pronouncing that correct. I have some friends who are calling it Rakisha.
I heard Wrath of Shaka Khan in their video, right?
Wrath of Shaka Khan. Yeah.
And that was their video. They put that video out.
Yeah, Six Flags Great America. Yeah. At no Coaster Con.
That made me laugh. I love that they did that because, that was funny. CoasterCon sounds like it's going to be really incredible this year, especially with those being there, right? So what else do we need to know? The registration isn't open yet as well, but I saw hotel information is already up.
Yeah, there are recommendations on ridewithace.com, and you can go check out the special deals. I know there's Great Wolf Lodge, which is right across from the park, and they have special rates that you definitely have to check out. Did you all book your hotels yet?
I did. I got Great Wolf. I've never been to a Great Wolf Lodge. And so when I saw the rate, I just jumped on it because it comes with water park tickets too. You get 4 water park tickets. And do I want to go to the water? I don't know, but I like that.
Yeah,
I have the
do.
options.
Yeah, I think you'll want to go.
I've never been to a Great Wolf Lodge, so I was excited about that. So I grabbed it.
Nice.
Yep. They're so much fun. I love the Great Wolf Lodge. And then Little America. Has everyone been to Little America?
No.
I have.
I haven't, but I know that, Derek and Gooch have.
Yeah, it's super cute. Super cute, little classic park with a old Myler manufacturing. Not the E&F Myler, which is the current Myler company, but the father's company, which was Myler Manufacturing. Classic old wooden or steel mouse coaster. And a great small Woody there as well too. And just loaded with charm.
Yeah, and you have to take the long train ride for sure.
Oh my goodness. I was going to ask if you
epic.
did that. That's the longest train ride I've ever done.
How long is it? What are we talking?
You need to devote hours. It takes you all the way to Chicago back.
No, it's probably a 20-minute long train ride. I mean, it's a couple of miles.
Wow.
I don't know if they own all of that property, but I mean, it goes like way outside the park of what I thought was the park and way around this huge property. Like I said, we were shocked and impressed. So that's a must when the Acers go to Little America. You have to ride their classic train.
And I have to tell you, the first time I went there, I was so excited for the toboggan. Like, I had seen pictures of these rides and I had never been on one. Mm-hmm. And then I was anticipating that so much. So you have to go on the chance rides, the Swiss toboggan. Do you know what that? Have you all experienced one of those?
Only that one. I think I maybe did one when I was younger at like a fair or something like that. But that's the only one that I know of, like, that's a permanent installation.
So you get in that little car, and then an individual car, and it takes you up the center of the column all the way to the top. And then you like
spiral down.
Yes.
Spiral down.
You spiral. You keep on going down. And then there's a little bunny hills at the end, and it's wild. And so I'm super excited to get on that and for all of us to experience that and just laugh, when people are coming around. So that's probably my favorite ride there.
Cool.
That's a super unique one. I mean, according to RCDB, there are currently only 2 of those left in the world. That is one of 2. And the other one is in Brazil. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then on the Wednesday night, that is when the
banquet.
The banquet, thank you.
The banquet, because it's at Great Wolf Lodge, too. So
yes.
You guys need to get ready in my room. You can.
We'll go for a quick dip in the pool and down the water slides and then go up to the banquet.
And we'll all wear our wolf ears down to the banquet.
Oh, my God. Is that a thing?
Idea.
Wait, is that a thing?
It was when I stayed at one. I remember was it when CoasterCon was in Virginia? We stayed at one, and we were all with a bunch of Acers wearing our wolf ears, right, Derek?
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right. And I remember it was a howling good time, and a
howling good time. Oh my!
And there's going to be a fun presenter at the banquet. I don't know if it's been announced yet. It's someone who isn't, usually it's like people from a roller coaster company, manufacturing. But this year it's someone who you might not be expecting. So let's keep an eye out for that announcement.
Dolly Parton?
That was the rumor like 2 years ago, right? That she was going to be there. But no, it's not Dolly Parton, but it's someone you might be able to figure out who it is. It's someone from the Chicago area. Who's
Oprah Winfrey?
Oh my gosh.
You get a coaster and you get a coaster and you get a coaster.
Doug, you can keep on guessing. I don't know if you can guess.
I think I know who it is. No, maybe not. I don't want to guess.
But so you want to stay up there probably on the Wednesday night if you're going to the banquet, and then head down to Indiana on Thursday and Friday for Indiana Beach. Awesome. Which I'm super excited to go on the All-American Triple Looping Coaster, because now they took off the shoulder harnesses. They just have a lap bar.
Yes.
And during No Coaster Con, I don't know if you heard this already, they're going to be running one of the cars backward on that during certain times of the year. And they said during Coaster Con, they will have one of the cars backward.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So that'll be a special treat.
So cool. Well, CoasterCon the past 2 years have been absolutely epic, from Dollywood to then Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and the, West Coast parks, and Aileen Quinn. That was so great last year. So I cannot wait for this one. So we are going to probably have to do an entire episode. In fact, I'd love to have Dan Jones on here. Dan, if you're listening, we'd love to have you on the podcast to tell us everything that we need to know about this year's CoasterCon. And so just so you know, registration for most of the ACE national events open about a month and a half to 2 months before the event. That's always the biggest question that they get on ACE social media, right, Doug? When will registration open? So you can plan it a month or a month and a half to 2 months. So just start looking every so often. Log on to ridewithace.com.
Yes, and just announced a few weeks ago at SeaWorld San Diego, it was during the Pacific Southwest Skills and Thrills event, Jackie Edwards, who's the regional rep, got on the mic and she broke the news that we're having our ACE Preservation Conference in August at SeaWorld San Diego, Belmont Park, and Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Yay!
So the crowd went
to the
wild.
Southwest, baby.
And it's the 100th anniversary of the Giant Dipper at Belmont Park. So we're super excited to be there celebrating the centennial.
Nobody's allowed to say excited for the rest of the podcast.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that. So we're super thrilled. So we're super thrilled to be there for a preservation conference for the centennial of Giant Dipper.
So for our listeners, because we are keeping this in, we're not editing this out. Last episode, we had an account of how many times we said excited. Not last episode, the IAPA recap episodes. We might have said the word excited. Listen, we're excited about roller coasters. It's true. But there are other words that we can use to express how we feel about upcoming events and coasters. So now nobody's allowed to use the word. And if you're going to get a buzz, you're going to go, buzz.
I thought we were just facilitating people's drinking games. I didn't know. Okay. I didn't know. That would have been a good one. Like, all right, every time they say excited, just go take a drink.
Yep. Do that with the 2 IAPA Expo episodes. You will not last the night. You will not last. You will need to be home in a safe space.
Right. So I'm electrified to attend Preservation Conference.
And what are the dates for that?
August 8th through 10th, 2025. So it starts off Friday, August 8th, we'll be at Six Flags Magic Mountain. There'll be exclusive ride time that night on a bunch of different rides there. And then we'll head down to SeaWorld San Diego on Saturday. There will be ERT Saturday night at the park. And then Sunday we'll be at Belmont Park.
Yay.
That's great.
I can't wait.
And ACE can celebrate a coaster that they very much helped save.
It's true.
Yeah, the Giant Dipper at Belmont. I remember that was one of the first issues of the Roller Coaster magazine I got from my ACE membership, was almost an entire issue dedicated to that ride and the story of how they had to fight for it and all the things they went through to save that. So it's really cool.
And thank goodness, because it's a treasure. It truly is.
Yeah, so. I totally feel that if it wasn't for ACE, that roller coaster wouldn't be around today. And Tim Cole, who started the Save the Coaster committee and did so much work. Yeah, if it wasn't for him and it wasn't for ACE, I don't think that coaster would be able to be here. So we're so lucky to have that.
It's wild. Well, I can't wait for everybody to come to the Southwest. If you weren't able to come last year after CoasterCon, and because a lot of people took the drive down and had a day at Six Flags Magic Mountain. But remember how hot that day was? Ooh. So now you got even more time and ERT. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun.
Awesome.
Name us some other ACE events we've got that we should be exhilarated for this year.
Well, ACE Eastern Pennsylvania, they went wild and they debuted during their East Coaster, their list of regional events for this year. And I'm overjoyed to tell you that they're coming back with park events at Dorney Park, at Knoebels, Sesame Place, all the parks in Eastern Pennsylvania. And the Knoebels event is multi-day, I believe.
Whoa.
It starts Saturday, April 26th, and it's April 26th and 27th. So you'll have to check that out. Speaking of Great Wolf Lodge, there's ACE Day at Great Wolf Lodge in Naples, Florida, and that's on Sunday, April 27th. So if you can't wait to go to CoasterCon and go on the Great Wolf Lodge in Gurney, you got to head down to Florida for that. Oh, Eastern Pennsylvania, Friday, May 30th, there's ACE Day at Bushkill Park. Then May 31st, the next day, you head to Dorney Park for clowning around at Dorney Park. And then June 1st, there's Slide with Ace at Wildwater Kingdom. ACE Eastern PA has got it going on.
Seriously. Oh my gosh.
Over.
I thought that we were lucky to be in the area that we are with all of our parks around here. But wow, to be an Eastern Pennsylvania resident in the summertime.
And then ACE Europe, they've got Summerfest in Sweden going on Friday, July 11th through Monday, July 21st. Right here in Southern California, we've got a Six Flags Magic Mountain event coming up, ACE West Coast Acers. That is going to be March 29th. And then also March 8th, we have a special ACE Day at Playland Fresno. And ACE is sponsoring the roller coaster there. And they're going to put the ACE logo up, and we're going to celebrate that on March 8th.
I don't know about this. What do you mean?
Remember last year, Playland was in danger of closing. There was
I remember
the rumors. Mm-hmm. So they were looking for a sponsorship for different attractions, and ACE is sponsoring the roller coaster there, which is the Dragon Coaster. And that's Molina and Sons. And ACE is sponsoring the coaster cars for the train. So, yeah, that's nice that ACE is doing that and that the park is continuing to operate. So, yeah, we have to go up to Fresno March 8th.
Yeah, so they turned it around, huh? That's so great. I'm so glad to hear that. I wasn't sure of the outcome of all of that.
Yeah, so I'm happy that I'm supercharged that they're opening.
Now, you three are all in Los Angeles. Have you guys been to that park before?
Yeah, we went last year.
Okay.
2 years ago? Or was that last year? We went 2 years ago when we went to the fair as well, right? What fair was that?
Hellman Sons.
Yeah. California Mid-State Fair. Boom. There it is.
You were fast to get that.
Well, I did a thing about how one of Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch wave swingers was bought by them and is at the California Mid-State Fair, and you can ride it. And so that's what made me think it, is that I rode the wave swinger and I was like, it's at the California Mid-State Fair. So yeah, we went to the Mid-State Fair in Playland Fresno, and we had a great time. It was a cute day.
Very cute. And was that on the same trip when we went to the Sally Dark ride, the Treasure Hunt the Ride?
That was the same trip. Yeah, that was the same trip when Treasure Hunt the Ride opened, which I recently talked to Daniels Woodland. Have we talked about this? That they have made some upgrades to that. This has nothing to do with our episode right now, but since we're talking about that area of the country, if you are over there in Monterey, this is in Monterey, California, on like the Cannery row there, they have Treasure Hunt the Ride, and they've gone in. What we saw is not the finished product. Like, they've added and added and added, and then they did an overlay for Halloween. They did an overlay for Christmas, and they say that it's like their baby. Like, this is Daniels Woodland. Like, every single time they're around, they're adding more decor. They added more animations. I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but it was so cool to hear from them. And yeah, I'd love to get them back on the pod or on the podcast for the first time. I've interviewed them before. We interviewed them at Treasure Hunt the Ride, I think for YouTube and for social media, but they're so cool and they love that attraction so much. And I just was loving to hear that it's not done, that they're going to still keep building and building and building it and just making it better. So how fun.
Is that a standalone attraction, Jessica?
Kind of, yeah. Like it's standalone, but it's in such an area. If you've ever been to that area of Cannery Road, the aquarium is right there. There's so much to do. The food, oh my gosh, Dungeness crab. Ooh, if you like seafood, that is the place. And there's just so many like mini golf, like lots of things to do with your family, but not a ton for kids. So it made sense to really put it there. And then also, oh yeah, we did have them on, didn't we? Didn't we do a whole Treasure Hunt the Ride episode of the podcast?
I think so, yes. Maybe you'll have to revisit that.
But we didn't have them like sit down. I think we used our interviews that we did in person about them building it and how they ended up building it on like a beach where a pirate attack actually happened in Monterey, California, which I thought was really cool too. Like right outside.
And speaking of Treasure Hunt the Ride, there's actually a regional event there. On September 1st, it's the Labor Day mega event from Ace Northern California. It involves Treasure Hunt the Ride, Oscar's Playground, and the Monterey County Fair.
Oh, so, cute. Let's go.
We'll have to go up for that. Yeah.
That's so fun. Oh, I'm happy for them. That's great. I love that we're doing that.
Hey, if I can take it back for a second, I forgot when you were talking about CoasterCon coming up this summer. I always love giving shout outs to Ace members and their amazing work. I just want to give a shout out to Sean Torres, who was the winner of the CoasterCon 47 logo contest, because I thought that was so creative. I love it. He made a sort of a reflective image on the bean, which, you know, if you know Chicago, you know the bean. That like represents that city. So shout out to Sean Torres. Really cool design for this year's CoasterCon logo.
Yay,
I
Sean.
loved it. And he's not the only one that's been hard at work creating logos. Brody Rose created the Spring Conference logo, which is a take on the Virginia is for lovers theme. So there's like the heart in there. And then Jason Wright created the Preservation Conference logo. So thank you all for donating your time.
So much talent in this club. Up in this club. Sorry.
And we're so lucky to have Sean in our region. He did the West Coast Acers logo. He does our Ace Viva Las Acers. Is that what the event's called? The Las Vegas one, the Gills and Thrills at SeaWorld. He does all our cool logos.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Awesome.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks everybody who donates their time. We love it. That's a lot of events. That's a lot of Ace events. Are we missing anything that we know of so far?
Ace Europe Winterfest is going to be December 6th and December 7th, and that's at Phantasialand in Germany.
Can you sign up for those? Because I know that the other one you can't sign up for.
Winterfest is now open for registration. So if you go to jointheride.eu, or you can go right from the ridewithace.com events page. But yeah, sign up for Winterfest 25 and go ride those awesome rides.
Have you guys seen those, like the reels of like Fly
in the snow
and Taryn in the snow?
Yes. Oh my god,
they're so cool. Yeah,
they release those every winter, and I'm like, that is so cool. It would be really
so
awesome
satisfying
to go there during.
I love that you, Doug and Gooch, you both said so cool.
so rad.
So rad.
It's fantastic.
I adore that. So that's it for Ace events, yeah, that we know of so far. There's a lot to see on ridewithace.com and still a lot more coming out. And let's get to the park sponsored events. Gooch is going to be our resident expert on park sponsored events, because you've been to a few of them, haven't you?
I've been to most of the ones that I'm going to share with you guys. I will start with probably my favorite. I mean, God, it's so hard to choose. You know, it's like picking your children. But
wait, why are you picking your children?
Well, you know, it's so hard, you know, because people will ask you who's your favorite, and it's like, I can't pick a favorite child.
Oh, a favorite child. I thought you were like going to the store. Okay,
right? No, not Sophie's Choice. This is not anything like that. So, yeah. So Friday, May 30th, and Saturday, May 31st, at Holiday World is Hollywood Nights.
Ooh, I heard that was really hard to get into this year.
Man, oh man, has the legend grown in the last few years about this park and this event. And it has gone from an event that didn't used to sell out to one that sells out within seconds now.
Yeah, so you cannot currently go this year if you haven't already registered. Is that my understanding?
That is correct. So they offered up, and I'll say this for people who are interested next year, they offer up the tickets usually in the beginning of December. This year they did a new process where they said, here's a website link. Everyone needs to go here at noon on this day, which was like December 10th or something like that. And at that time, if you were one of the first, however many people, they didn't tell us the number, but if you were one of the first people, the site would give you a code. And that code would allow you to come back to the site at your leisure up through January 15th to purchase up to 2 Hollywood Nights tickets. And so, they went super quick. I felt very blessed that I was able to secure a ticket this year. Because like I said, I do love this event. My goodness, this park is so special. And the Koch sisters who run this park and their entire team just take such amazing care of these incredible wooden coasters. I mean, I remember when Holiday World was probably the most intriguing thing to me when I first became an enthusiast, because I started seeing things like the golden ticket lists and things like that. And I would say, wait, there are 3 wooden coasters in the top 50 in one park? And they have a top 50 steel coaster in Thunderbird? I was like, wait a second. I'd never even heard of this park. So anyone who doesn't know about it, it's in Santa Claus, Indiana, and the entire town is themed to Santa Claus and Christmas. It's really quaint. And the park itself is themed to holidays. But this event, like I said, is incredible. The coaster collection is amazing.
But what makes the event so special rather than just going there?
I think it's just a combination of the access that you have as well as all of the ERT. So the event begins on Friday. They have walk-back tours where they literally, and they've opened this up and expanded it in recent years so that you can walk back behind Legend and Voyage and now literally go all the way to the end of the run of Voyage, like way down into where they have the spaghetti bowl, the big turnaround of that coaster. So you get to walk the whole area and see it up close while it's running during the day. They give us a time like in the afternoon on that first day, and people do these walkbacks, and it's amazing to just see everyone so enthralled and like with their cameras out and getting their videos and photos because you can really get great shots of Voyage and Thunderbird as well that's kind of interacting with it. So there's that. There's amazing food. They have what they call a snack on the first evening before water park ERT. And I mean, they call it a snack, but it's a dang full-on meal. It's amazing. I mean, so many incredible things that they'll make themed foods to go with the themes. And so this event is themed each year. I didn't talk about that. This year's theme is Coasters, 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 which is a Beetlejuice theme. So it's like
Beetlejuice theme.
Beetlejuice.
Was last year the Hunger Games themed?
Yes, last year was the Gravy Games. It was themed with Hunger Games. So yeah, they'll with those themes, they'll have music from these movies or play whatever they theme it after. They'll have like music from the score from these films playing in the park, and I'm sure a lot of the food, snacks and things that night will be themed to Beetlejuice, creepy crawly stuff and whatnot. There's water park ERT. Like I already mentioned the coasters, but this water park is considered one of the best water parks in the world. It is attached to Holiday World. It is, it's not a separate gate. It's within the park. And they have ERT, and they have 3 water coasters that are world class. I'm not sure if any other park in the world has 3 water coasters at this point. And they're all different. One is a very airtime driven, long raft launch coaster. Another one is a big round family size raft where you can fit like 6 people.
That one is insane.
That's mammoth. That is, it's so insane. It's so wet. Like every tunnel you go in has sprayers in it, so you're constantly getting sprayed with water, even when you're not splashing down into it. And their most recent addition was Cheetah Chase, which is a dual launched racing water coaster with 2 boats side by side that go through courses, and you literally get to race and try and be the first one across the finish line. So that's amazing. People really love to have the water park ERT. Then the park closes to the public as you're at the water park ERT. And then the whole rest of the evening, I believe that first night, usually from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So 3 hours, the park is only there for Hollywood Nights visitors.
Wow.
And it's just all of those coasters are open along with some of the flat rides, and people just go nuts riding Raven, Legend, Voyage, Thunderbird, of course, the amazing new Good Gravy, which debuted last year and is just one of the cutest, best thought out attractions that I've seen. So such nice theming.
And that's one of the few times. Did you already mention that the Voyage, it's like no brakes and no lights? Is that right?
Yes, and that is the big draw for that night ERT, which will also be on the second night, is that they turn off the trim brakes on Voyage. So it runs without any braking, and it is insane. That second half is just, it's a madhouse. Like people, I love more than anything else seeing first timers go to this event, and that first time they get off Voyage trimless at night and seeing their face, they're just like, oh my God, I didn't even know coasters could do something like this. I mean, people get back as it's pulling into the station, they're breathing heavy, like it was like a workout to ride this ride. You can hear the wheels still spinning on the trains, and sometimes you could even smell it like the wheels are burning. I mean, I literally think that, I'm sure this does some damage to the coaster with them turning the trims off and putting all that stress on it. But they do this for their guests every year because it's just such an incredible experience. So that continues into the second day with more tours and more food and another night of ERT, this time I think from 8 until midnight on the second night. Same thing, trimless Voyage rides and everything. And what
those Voyage rides sound awesome. And if you weren't lucky enough to get tickets to that event, last summer they did the Friday night rides on where they did have the Voyage at night, and there was one weekend where they did the trimless. Do you remember that last August?
Yes, in August. That was the first time Holiday World had offered that, because they know, like I said, the demand has been so great for this event, and some people just haven't been able to get that ticket. So yeah, they hopefully will do that again this year, and there may be another chance in August or later in the summer to ride Voyage trimless if you don't get this chance. But like I said, it's such a spectacular event. Great food and coasters and care and the tours. And what can't be stated enough is the camaraderie of that weekend. I mean, these are the most passionate enthusiasts in the world. I mean, because no casual coaster rider is there riding Voyage trimless at night. These, I mean, like people are there, like in the station, cheering, singing, yelling, clapping. The ride ops are all energetic and into it and getting people hyped up. And so the environment and the energy, seeing all these amazing coaster enthusiasts from all over the country and sometimes other places of the world is just really special. So, but I will say, so if you haven't been able to get tickets for that this year, there is another park sponsored event on those same exact dates. And this is new because this event has been happening for years, but usually it's different dates. This year, Friday, May 30th and Saturday, May 31st is also Kings Island's Coaster Stock event.
Yes.
This event includes ERT on popular attractions, both morning and night, behind the scenes tours, engaging speakers, Q&A sessions with park officials, fun contests, catered meals, fun pics, photo opportunities, unlimited soft drinks, and more. The tickets have not quite gone on sale yet, but should go on sale this month in February. And it should be announced on the Kings Island blog soon. And I should mention,
that sounds awesome.
Since they say they're having unlimited soft drinks, that's another thing that people love about Holiday World. And it's not just during that event. That park has free beverages all the time. So there are drink stations all throughout the park and cups, and you can just walk up anytime you need some hydration and choose a beverage and make it for yourself, as well as they have free sunscreen in the water park for anyone to use. So
that was my favorite thing about visiting Holiday World. I really was. I was so happy that they had that everywhere you went. And so it doesn't matter if it's a super hot day, you know you're going to have the sunscreen, you know you're going to have beverages, and it didn't slow you down, it just kept you going. It was great.
It's
amazing that they offer that.
It's such a nice touch, especially in a time when, money is tight and inflation's high and, parks have had to cut
other
back.
Parks are literally charging for everything.
For everything,
So-
right. Some parks were adding service fees to buy a drink, on top of the already exorbitant costs. This park gives it to you for free. They really want you there. So you got those two events on that weekend. The following weekend, Friday, June 6th, is a Cedar Point's park-sponsored event called Coaster Mania. Coaster Mania gives early morning and late evening ERT on several park attractions. It's a lot of the major coasters in that park. Delicious group meal, special event souvenir, and more. Tickets for that event are extremely limited and will go on sale at a later date. I believe those are usually announced maybe in March or April sometime. So just keep watch on Cedar Point's website for that. You can find that under their events page. Same thing, same weekend. So this is a very busy time, right? Friday, June 6th for the whole weekend through Sunday, June 8th is a fantastic event at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, called the Roller Coaster Rodeo. This was the event that we were invited to host our Bluesiest annual summer event at last year by the park president, Jeff Siebert. And man, Jeff and his team are such fantastic hosts. They are coaster enthusiasts and love coaster enthusiasts and have designed an event that is just loaded with benefits and is a really, really great time. That usually begins with a welcome reception where they invite everybody in the theater with snacks and drinks. They do a show and a presentation. This year there was like a cool movie that they put together for us. Then at some point in the evening, Dr. Diabolical came out and started giving a speech. This was after the park was now closed. So now it is just the roller coaster rodeo attendees. And Dr. Diabolical is the character from their newest coaster, right? Their dive coaster. Well, the character literally comes out. It's a really cool costume on this lady. As she gives a speech and she says, "It's time to bring out my creatures of the night." And on the park's train rolls into the station right next to us right at that moment. And all kinds of scare actors come running off of the train. Amazing. So then for the rest of that evening, they offer 2 Fright Fest haunted houses that are open that have those creatures, and some of them stay out in the midway as well.
In June? Oh, that's so great.
In June. So I really think that they want people to know what a wonderful park they have at Fiesta, Texas, and give them a little taste of some of the things that they have all year long. So nice. I thought that was a really awesome touch. And there's, of course, also ERT that night. And one of the real big surprises was that they offered 2 free alcoholic beverage tickets to be used each night for those who are 21 and over. So both Friday and Saturday night, lots of people were taking breaks in between the rides, going over to the bar, grabbing a beer, hanging out with their friends, chatting it up, getting a cocktail.
Wow. Yeah, that's rare.
Amazing. The following morning, that Saturday morning, they offered lift hill walks on Superman and Dr. Diabolical. This is an additional cost but I think it was about $30. Last year I did the Superman Krypton coaster lift walk. It's like 170 feet tall or whatever. It was quite a journey to go to the top and be way up at the top of the quarry and overlooking the entire park. Amazing experience. But you could choose between the lift hill or the brake run walk if you don't quite want to go that high. And I think last year they offered both of those coasters, both Superman Krypton and Dr. Diabolical's dive coaster. Also that morning they offer a quarry wall walk. And like I said, everything is done with lots of thought. There's always snacks and drinks and things available.
Sorry, what were you saying? Quarry? I've never been there. Quarry wall walk? It's like what is that? So
Six Flags Fiesta, Texas is super unique, probably the most unique setting for a Six Flags park because it is set within what once was a rock quarry. So the entire park half of the park is surrounded by a gigantic rock wall that's probably 100 and something feet high. literally it was at one point a rock quarry, and that's where they decided to build this theme park. So they have built rides that interact with the quarry wall, like Iron Rattler climbs up above the quarry wall and dives down it and goes and rides around on the top of it. Superman Krypton Coaster also interacts with it. So literally, yeah, they take you into a behind the scenes area that morning, and it begins with, they have a huge cooler full of water. So they're like, everybody's hot, grab a water so you're hydrated, and you walk up the path, and then everyone gets to be on top of the quarry wall walking around.
On the wall? Oh, that's cool. That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
On the top of the wall. So it's an amazing, so even if you don't buy the additional lift hill walks, there's a great opportunity for free included in the event to get a very high up view of the entire park and literally have, Iron Rattler running around right next to you. So amazing photo ops. People are out there with their cameras and shooting stills and videos and just so excited.
Yeah, neat.
They have a huge barbecue buffet dinner that Saturday night. And then the most special benefit, which is all park ERT.
All park ERT?
All park ERT. So after the park closes, I believe maybe around 8 p.m. for the next 3 hours, the park is only open for the event attendees, and it is the entire park. Every ride, every attraction is open. So, I mean, you can literally run around, marathon, anything you want during that evening.
So fun.
And that's just day 2. So Sunday morning then begins with water park ERT, and they also have a really good water coaster. So there's a great wave pool and water coaster and ways to cool down. They offer breakfast with mimosas that morning. And throughout the entire event, they also give you VIP lounge access with drinks, snacks, and most importantly, AC, because Texas is hot. Oh my goodness. Some of these days it was over 100 degrees. So everyone loved the event. But that is the one thing, is like you do have to be prepared for the heat. And so it's wonderful that they offered this lounge access where there's air conditioned all day long. There's drinks, snacks. They want to make sure everybody's hydrated and can relax and sit down on a couch if they need to, So that's a fantastic event. And the pricing last year was right around $100. I think the early bird was like $90 for this 3 days, including all of the CRT, all park, free drink tickets, meals. I mean, it's really special what that team is doing at that park.
Cool.
Yes. Then we'll skip through. I don't think there's any great park sponsored events in July, but we'll move forward to August, where Saturday, August 16th and Sunday, August 17th, Maury's Piers hosts Coastin by the Ocean. And I'll point out that Saturday the 16th is also National Roller Coaster Day. So that is our holiday. If you didn't know, there is a national holiday to celebrate roller coasters. And by God, every year, I try to get on a coaster every year on that date. And so I'm very much thinking about going to Coastin by the Ocean again this year for the 3rd time. This is a fantastic event that also I think is a fantastic value. Let me just give you the lineup of what they offer you here. And this tickets just went on sale for this past week. The event is for current members of any ride enthusiast group, which of course includes ACE. But it includes all the rides on 3 amusement piers and slides in 2 award-winning water parks for those 2 days. 15% off food, beverage, and retail. A Saturday night catered picnic. Complimentary fountain drinks at any Maury's food and beverage stands. And this is the real kicker. Again, $89 ticket. You get $40 back in Maury's Piers credits to be used toward food and retail. Like what? It's incredible. ERTs on 15 plus rides, Great White ERT in the dark, and Extreme Ride ERTs, which they have a few rides like a skyscraper and a slingshot, which normally you have to buy a special Extreme Ride ticket to ride those. Those are all included and part of ERT on Sunday. I think the other thing that's special about this is this year, which is why it's a great year to go to Coastin by the Ocean. Maury's put in a lot of money into Great White. The last couple of seasons, they've been working with Great Coasters International, GCI, to completely retrack the ride, which is now complete. And they have added Millennium Flyer trains to it as well. So they are advertising it as a faster, smoother experience. This is built literally right onto the beach. It goes out into the sand, like right by the ocean. And they do ERT on that on Saturday night from midnight to 1:30 in the morning.
Whoa.
In the dark with all the lights out. They have like a very dim light in the station so that people can see how to get in their seats in the train. But once you go out into the run, it's completely in the dark. That's an awesome experience.
That sounds amazing.
So again, tickets are on sale for that. Now the early bird price only goes till February 14th. So I'm not sure if you will get our listeners will get to hear this before that date, but just know February 14th, that early bird $89 ends. And then until June 30th, the price will be $119. And they'll have a last call from July 1st to August 14th at $139. So that's a fantastic event. Have you guys ever been to that event or even been to Maurice Piers?
I've not.
No?
We've been to Maurice Pier, but I don't think we've been to that event.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it sounds fun. I'd love to go.
Like I said, yeah, fantastic time. I mean, and if you haven't been to the Jersey Shore, it's just a nice environment, to be seaside, on the beach. The park is built on these 3 piers along the boardwalk. There's tons of food and fun drinks and activities. And so, yeah, I think that's a really wonderful time, especially for families. So keep that one in mind. And maybe as a great way to celebrate National Roller Coaster Day. Next, moving on, Saturday, September 6th, Indiana Beach hosts a park-sponsored event. We were already talking about Ace going there for Preservation Con, but they are also, for Coaster Con, but they are also hosting a park-sponsored event annually that's called Hops and Coaster Drops. Saturday, September 6th. That event takes place at the park, and it is the first known craft beer, wine, and spirits festival in the world to take place in a major amusement park while the park is operating.
Wow.
Gates open at noon with food, rides, and shopping available. The tasting event begins at 1 and goes from 1 to 5 p.m. It's anticipated to host 110 plus participating breweries, wineries, and distilleries.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
that's intense.
It's so much. I went to this event for the first time this past year, and man, we had a great time. So they basically just, set up booths all spread out throughout the park with the different vendors. And like I said, it is a sample of all of that. It's a lot of beer, but also some wine and some distilleries there that have made a lot of really good whiskeys and things in the area. So that the event features unlimited samples from all of those breweries, distilleries, and wineries. The park will be closed to the public and is only available for event attendees this day. After the tasting event ends at 5 o'clock, the park remains open until approximately 1 a.m. for an official after party in the Indiana Beach Ballroom, featuring live music from 7 to 11 p.m., while attendees can continue to enjoy rides, games, and entertainment, and the rides begin closing around 9 p.m. After the tasting event is over, beer, wine, and food will still be available to purchase. Tickets for that are about $55, available till August 6th, and then $65 after. So yeah, that's, like I said, that's another fun one. I went there last year. It's such a nice little charming park, a really nice setting on Indiana Beach, great wooden coasters. I'm a sucker for great woodies. And as you mentioned before, the All-American triple looping, which I was so glad they had just taken off the shoulder restraints before that event last year. So I got to experience it. And man, yeah, it's super intense and fun. Next, now this is not a solid date, but Dollywood hosts an event for coaster enthusiasts called Thrills in the Hills. Last year, that event was hosted on Saturday, September 13 and September 14. They have not announced the dates yet for this year. But so keep in mind, it could be, on those same dates, the 13th and 14th are also Saturday and Sunday this year. But Thrills in the Hills includes park tickets for Friday evening and Saturday, preferred parking, extended evening ERT on both days, and early ERT on Saturday morning. tasty snacks, and a Saturday lunch to keep participants fueled up for all the fun, and a goodie bag full of treats. So that is an event that I have not been to yet. I don't know if have any of you guys been to
I bet that's awesome. They take such good care of everybody at Dollywood. I bet that's great. Doug, have you been?
No, I haven't. I was going to ask Jessica if you saw the Loungefly backpacks that Dollywood just debuted.
Oh,
no. What? No, I saw the new Sesame ones, and I saw the new Bayside High School, like the Saved by the Bell, but I haven't seen the Dollywood. Looking it up right now.
Yeah, I just saw 2 of them posted this week.
Looking right now.
That's really bizarre that no one would send that to me. You'd think that.
Are they super cute?
I mean, they're adorable.
One has a big butterfly, and then the other one says Dolly in her signature,
it just says
right?
Dolly in her signature, and it's like blue and pink.
Oh, that's awesome.
And one's a guitar. There's like a guitar-shaped one that's like the guitar of many colors. It's like a coat of many colors, but it's a guitar shape, which I think is really cute. Oh. Anyway, this is not what this podcast is about, but I am.
Well, like I said, I have not been to this particular event, but I have been to other coaster events at Dollywood. And yes, they are fantastic hosts for events. So this will probably be a fantastic time. And then I've got one more event for us. That is Saturday, October 4th. Another fan favorite, Knoebels hosts Phoenix Fall Fun Fest.
With all P's.
PPP, as it's affectionately known by everyone. I have been to PPP 3 or 4 times. Again, just such a fantastic, charming park. If you've never been to Knoebels, there's almost nothing like it in America. I mean, it is a admission-free park. Anyone can walk in. So anyone in the family can be with you, kids, grandma. You can bring pets. People bring their dogs in the park. The ride collection is fantastic. Of course, they have their headliner being Phoenix, which often wins the #1 golden ticket for best wooden coaster in the world. It's a contender. Mm-hmm. And that was a coaster that was relocated. It was originally built in 1966, I believe, in San Antonio, and was relocated to the park in 1985, and was probably the most successful coaster relocation story in history. Because there you go. Now you have people who are considering it one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world. But they also have another incredible wooden coaster in Twister, as well as the incredibly unique Flying Turns, which I think is the only wooden bobsled roller coaster in the world. A throwback to the classic days of when they would build wooden bobsleds. So the whole thing's built in this incredibly intricate, beautiful looking trough that's completely made of wood, and it's totally smooth. I mean, the woodwork's incredible.
Surprisingly scary. Doesn't look like it would be, but absolutely. I was like afraid.
Yeah, because it's just in the trough, and it's free
I felt
swinging.
like I could flip. You feel like you could just flip over like a bobsled,
Yeah. So it has got some thrills.
It's a must do for sure.
Yeah.
But my question is with PPP.
Yes.
How, if there's no, fence around Knoebels, as I know there isn't. So then what is it? Just like a wristband, and you can only ride the rides? Like, how do they?
Yes. So that park offers, every attraction has an individual price. You can buy ride tickets in individuals or in larger packets at like a discount. And use ride tickets, or you can buy an unlimited pass. Sometimes during the year, they only allow you to buy the unlimited pass. I believe that's usually just on weekends.
Okay. So anybody can just go. You can just show up and still go.
That's correct. So now for this actual event, for Phoenix Fall Fun Fest, there is a registration. The details are not available yet, but that usually comes out later in the summer, and they'll open up a registration. Last year, I believe it cost $5, and they give you $5 in ride tickets back.
Wow.
So
who's down with PP?
You know me. So it's essentially free. Okay, I think they just made the $5 just so a million people wouldn't register and then not show up. So you at least have some commitment. But yeah, past years of that event have included a really amazing lunch. They have some amazing food at Knoebels. Often it is one of the contenders. Again, the Golden Tickets. It's one of those top 5 parks for best food on almost every year. So they have a fantastic lunch where they bring out lots of different treats from the park. Talk with members of the Knoebels family. Dick Knoebel is quite a unique guy, an amazing guy who legend, right? There's an ERT on a selection of their flat rides on Twister, Impulse. Sometimes they've done flying turns, the haunted antique cars, and of course the main event is that Saturday night. A ERT on Phoenix and the haunted antique cars. So that's
fun.
It's a wonderful time. And I'll say that, like I said, I've been a few times, but last year I did a little bit differently in that I have a really good friend who's been going for years. It's his yearly thing, and he camps out at the Knoebels campground. So like you said, there's no fences or anything around the park. And so you can literally just walk out the park, and right on the backside is an incredible campground that has tent sites as well as cabins that you can rent. So for the first time I purchased all the camping gear. I bought a tent and I went out and camped with my guys, and man, it was so much fun. They get a great little corner of the campground. Everyone sets up their tents. People just kind of like work together to bring what everyone needs to have fun. Someone brings a big flat top grill, and everyone will just be hanging out by the fire, and someone's like, hey, you want to make some fried rice? Yeah, great. And someone gets up and makes food for everybody. We have lots of drinks. But I just loved being able to walk in and out of that park at leisure, go hang out with friends, chill by the fire, have some drinks or food, go back into the park, ride. I mean, the campground where we were staying was like a 5-minute walk from Twister. So
wow,
that is always an option for those who are going to go for Phoenix Fall Fun Fest, is consider staying at the campground. Of course, a lot of those spots do go quick. So if you're interested in that event this fall, it's probably a good time to look into it this spring and go ahead and get yourself a spot booked.
Wow.
But
you really have been to a lot of park sponsored events. Oh my goodness.
I have. Like I said, so I've been to all of those except for that, the Dollywood Thrills in the Hills. And actually, I have not been to Coaster Mania. I've heard a lot about Coaster Mania at Cedar Point, but I have not been. So, but yeah, I love these park sponsored events. These are staples, especially things like, like I said, Hollywood Nights, Coastin by the Ocean, Phoenix Fall Fun Fest. These are fan favorites year after year. So consider supporting these parks who have set up these great events for coaster enthusiasts. Of course, the parks have plenty of other seasonal events. I mean, almost every park is doing that now, but these are events that are specifically tailored to coaster enthusiasts. So what are you guys thinking? Are you guys thinking about any of these events this year?
Well, I am literally, if you can't tell, I've been trying to mute myself when I could because I've made so many notes of all the things that if I can't go this year, then I want to look and go next year. This sounds it's such a fun time, I'm sure, to visit a park or take someone who'd never been, like I've never been to Fiesta, Texas, and maybe I'd want to go during Roller Coaster Rodeo for the first time. So exciting. How about you, Perry's?
Yeah, I haven't been to that many of those events. I know we've been to Coaster Mania at Cedar Point. Okay. But yeah, I want to go to all of them. It's hearing about them just gets me so jazzed for them. And I just want to, if I had the money and the time, I would be at all of them for sure.
Right. Yeah, and all of these events are annual, and they're generally around the same time. Like I said, the only one that really changed its weekend for this year is Coaster Stock. Like I said, usually that is in mid-May, right around when we're having our A Spring Con. But so instead of conflicting with that, I think maybe it's actually a good idea because Hollywood Nights is so exclusive, and it was hard, and a lot of people weren't able to get in. Like I said, there is another big coaster event that same weekend, same dates, and it's just a few hours away from Holiday World at Kings Island.
Ooh, all of this is cheering me up, but it's also just stressed me out a little as I think about my calendar filling up. That I really needed to get like a credit card for one of the flights and hotels.
Did I make you just a little bit less blue?
Can we get someone on the podcast who tells us what's the best credit card if you're a coaster enthusiast?
Ooh, that's me. Ooh, that's me. Listen, I literally preach that all the time to my close friends and people who I've met in this park. So yeah, maybe we'll have to do an episode on that. You know, some travel tricks and tips, ways to save a lot of money, way to use rewards programs and credit cards and things like that.
You got to do it. Yeah. You got to do it if this is your life, right?
Absolutely.
And even besides these events, there are other places around the world you still might want to visit this year, because there are parks and coasters and attractions opening everywhere. And last but not least, Doug Perry, social media manager Doug Perry, he knows them all. So he knows what we know in early February.
Yeah. So we'll go through a few of them right here. We already mentioned some like Rapterra and Wrath of Rakshasa and the Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge. But one of the ones I'm looking forward to the most is Alpenfury at Canada's Wonderland. Yeah, the premiere launched 7 inversions. I'm excited. Oh, can't say excited. But I am. I'm so thrilled for it. That looks like it's going to be so much fun. And I know that Canada's Wonderland just posted a picture. The trains are under wraps, but they just posted on their social media that the trains have arrived. And a lot of the track work, of course, has been constructed so far.
Awesome. And I know that ACE does do a regional event in September. I'm looking at Saturday, September 13th at Canada's Wonderland called Roller Coasters A.
Yeah, that's a cute name.
So keep in mind, there's an event for that. If anyone's really interested in going to check out Alpenfury this year, maybe go up and see if you can get some ERT with ACE.
That'd be nice. Yeah. And a couple of the eagerly anticipated coasters this year were originally planned for last year, but they were moved to 2025. And one of those is Flash Vertical Velocity at Six Flags Great Adventure, the Vekoma Super Boomerang. I know we're all looking forward to that. And it will be the first of its kind in the country, right?
Yeah, first in North America. So I'm looking forward to seeing that model. I'm thinking, like I said, since I'm planning to go to Coastin by the Ocean at Maury's, Great Adventure is only an hour and a half away in New Jersey. So I will probably try and go that same weekend and take on this new Vekoma Super Boomerang.
Yeah, and it seems like it should be open for the start of the season, right?
Yes. Yeah, because like you said, that one was delayed. So it has already, they were testing it already in October. Because I know we went to do last rides on King Ka when, rest in peace. Unfortunately, when we heard that was going to close, and they were already doing tests. So I think that is ready to go and will be open this spring.
And another one is the coaster formerly known as Georgia Surfer, which is now the Georgia Gold Rusher at Six Flags Over Georgia, the Intamin Ultra Surf. Yeah, so that was a surprise, I think, when they announced it. A lot of people were thinking that maybe the Mine Train was going to be renamed or something when they were teasing that. But yeah, so new name, new theme. I think I feel bad for the person who won the naming contest last year for Georgia Surfer. Now that they're changing it, but I think it's a good name, a good theme, and it kind of fits in the area more maybe than a surfing theme.
Is that why because of the theming of the area, they just wanted to change it up?
I've got to imagine that was the reason. Yeah, I mean, Georgia Surfer was. I mean, it's a nice idea, but no one really surfs in Georgia. There's there really isn't any great surf in Georgia, and Georgia's not known for surfing. So, I think that just they defaulted to that name because the ride does have a water element. And it doesn't even, it's not a splashdown. It's just like, I think there'll be water that shoots over the trains and things like that. It's more decorative.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
no surfing in Georgia. Got it.
Right. And Iowa doesn't have a coaster themed to surfing. They're going to get a coaster themed to fire running. Fire Runner, the RMC Raptor coming to Lost Island, which, yes, they announced at our preservation conference last year.
Yes.
Woohoo! That coaster, even though it's not even built yet, will always have a place in my heart.
Yeah, because you were part of the announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know I was going to be, and then I ended up. That was awesome.
The look on your face when they pulled the curtain off and revealed that it was going to be
on all of our faces.
I was looking at all of y'all. I was like, what? Oh my god!
I was just the one with a microphone in my hand, but I was looking at all of you. Everybody had their phones up, really, and were screaming. That was really fun. That's just a moment I'll always remember. So yeah, I feel like I have to go to that. I have to go back to Lost Island and ride that.
Yes, you need to be there. We're also counting down the days for the opening of the season for Cedar Point because Tony Clark just announced that Top Thrill 2 will be reopened for the opening day. So that's the plan. And then
bold statement, just the way he just kind of put it out there too. Like, yes.
Well,
like
I believe his wording was it should be open.
Oh, really? So, See, I got like a confident vibe from him that I was not expecting.
Yeah, it seemed encouraging. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He said at this point, there's nothing to make him say it wouldn't be open, right?
That's a lot of double negative.
So, but it'll open this year, reopen, and then also Siren's Curse, the Vekoma tilt coaster.
Yes, that's going up.
Yeah, that'll be open. When are they expecting that? Like a little bit later in the season, not for the opening.
Yeah, I believe they used the words in summer. So that they were hoping that Top Thrill 2 should be open at the beginning of the season, and that Siren's Curse would open in the summer. So.
And speaking of tilt coasters, does the tilt coaster circuit breaker at Codaland, does that need to open before Siren's Curse? Is that still the agreement that they had where that one had to open first, or do we know anything about that?
Oh, I don't know. You think
that's a great question.
You think there was maybe an agreement of some sort?
Well, they probably wanted to be the first, right? That's usually part of the deal. And then suddenly Siren's Curse is just like, flying up.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because friends of mine and we've just been speculating on that it's been a race. It's like, who's going to open first? Which will be the first tilt coaster in North America? Who's going to do it? So
it'll be interesting to see.
These are the questions we should have asked Vekoma when we were talking to them.
Oh, yeah. And then, Codaland also has Palindrome, the Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster, which looks ready to go also. And they're just going to be opening that hopefully this year. And also they have an SPF visa, I think, right? Mm-hmm. Coming to Codaland. And speaking of SPF visas, while we're on that, I think there are at least 2 more opening in the U.S., probably more, but Quasi in Connecticut is getting one. And then Storybook Land in New Jersey is also getting one this year. And then Six Flags New England, of course, Quantum Accelerator, the Intamin family launch, which is that the first Intamin straddle coaster opening at a Six Flags park, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Sounds right. Yeah.
I think the only one we've got in North America are the ones at the SeaWorld parks. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. And then, and speaking of SeaWorld San Antonio is getting the Beach Rescue Racer, the family. How do you pronounce it? I've never known.
Zier?
I thought it was Zier. Yeah.
Zier. Okay. Yeah,
I've said it.
Yeah, I always pronounce it the wrong way.
Zier. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that could be wrong. Someone correct us. You can add us there.
Yes, let us know. And then also in Texas, there's the new Peppa Pig theme park opening with another Daddy's Pig roller coaster, Zamperla. So that'll be cool. Another credit.
Okay.
Daddy Pig.
Yeah, and then over in Pigeon Forge, there's going to be the racing coaster, which is the Alpine. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this one either. Vegan? How do you pronounce it? Wiegand.
I think you said it right. I think Vegan. Most people say Weigand here or Weigand, but I think, they would pronounce the W as a V. So like
I've
vegan.
never tried to pronounce it.
That may be the first time I ever said it to. And it's recorded for everyone to hear.
I think you nailed it. Okay, let's go with vegan.
We're going. That's what we're.
Vegan.
So we're saying it like vegan, like not vegan.
All right, vegan.
Now this next one, let me know if it's correct. Yeti Trek or is it Yeti Trek? The one coming to Santa's Village, which is a Vekoma family coaster. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then,
is that the one with the Yeti on the back of
Yes, so cute. I loved that. Yeah.
That's at Santa's Village in Illinois, is that correct? Right?
It's in Ontario, Canada. And how could we mention 2025 new coasters and not talk about Epic Universe?
Yes,
I know multiple coasters opening there in Orlando. What is everyone looking forward to most at that park?
I'll tell you what I'm not looking forward to. I am so stressed. I'm like stressed about Epic Universe. I think it's going to be so mobbed. I know so many people who've already planned their trips. I know so many people who are already like, this is going to be open. As excited as I am for it, I'm a little bit like stressed about the anticipation of it all. And is everything going to open the right way for them? I mean, Universal has opened plenty of parks before. And I was there for the opening of Islands of Adventure. Like I was there living in Orlando at the time when that opened. And It was sort of a slower opening. Like there were things that were not quite done. And I remember sort of being there for like when just this was open or just that was open. And so I wonder if it's kind of going to be like that. So it's like stress, like I'm excited. I'm anticipating it, but I'm also just nervous for how is this all going to go? Like this. They're bringing so. Have you heard that you have to get a ticket? You have to get a 3-day ticket, I think, to go.
I just read that they're going to start selling
individual tickets.
Oh, really?
Single day tickets. So what they offered when they first put it up was people could buy a single day ticket only if you were a pass holder. And so, I think in the next few weeks, they're going to open it up to everyone to go ahead. But I think they are still just going to only allow single day ticket purchases.
I know people who are buying annual passes just to be able to go for one day.
I know I would do that if I
would too.
The extra money, and especially if I was closer and not being thousands of miles away.
But do you even want to go in the first month, right? Or do you
but I also think do you think they'll soft open so there'll be chances before that opening to go?
Absolutely. Yes, they always do, right? I mean, they definitely did with Islands.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's going to go perfectly. And that's so funny that you said about like all the crowds, because the videos and pictures that I've seen, like, obviously they're only workers there, but in my mind it was like, oh, it's so nice you can walk around. It's not too crowded.
There's no one there
So
yet.
I didn't even think about that. But I don't care if there are a million people there. I just want to be there with them. I want to be one of the million.
I cannot wait for Dark Universe. Oh my God.
Well, look, I don't know if I can assuage your fears, Jessica, but I will say this on Universal's behalf. Okay, they are so good at running their parks, I think, and seeing how they handled COVID, because I had a pass the year right after COVID. So like right when we were able to start going back to parks, I was going to Florida and going to Universal, and they managed that so well, and they very much limited attendance. So I think they're very smart at managing these things, and I don't think they'll allow it to be mobbed, because I think they will very highly limit the number of tickets that they'll allow until they are comfortable with how the park operates, until they're like, look, we're hitting on all cylinders. Let's release the maximum number of tickets available. But I think they'll probably put a limit on it for the first few months.
And the way it's designed, they can close a land off if it's too crowded and limit access to a certain land for amount of time. Seems like.
That's right. So that's what I'm saying. They have so many things in place. I think they know that the guest experience is so important. And I just believe in them. I believe that even though a million people want to go, that I don't think any day you'll be there where it's just crazy mobbed and everything going to have 2-hour waits, because they know that's not a good time.
Oh, no, I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about like potentially even getting tickets or people planning trips and then not being able to go yet, or that kind of thing. Like I almost want to wait, like when Rise of the Resistance opened, and it was either like, if you're not going to be there on the first day, then like wait until like a month from now, 2 months from now, because
I don't know how I can wait. We've been watching the construction for so long, and then now
it looks
with
like,
the videos,
I think it's like my favorite part. Right?
Yes.
In the world,
the video of the video of Minecart Madness from Japan, like seeing that we'll be riding that soon. And then did you see the video of the Stardust Racers at night where the trains?
That's probably gonna be my favorite coaster. I'm just like clearing the room for new favorite park and new favorite coaster, just like leaving some space above number one. I don't know. What are you? Nobody else is stressed. Okay.
I hear you. I'm stressed. Like, I hate spoilers, which I already feel like I know so much
I don't
about.
want spoilers either.
But yeah, and once everyone gets there, they're going to be posting everything. You're not going to be able to avoid it. I just want to be there and experience it as freshly as I can.
I know. We're going to dodge all the spoilers. Dodge.
I am no longer Ace's social media manager. I'm resigning. I don't want any of it. I don't want to see it.
Thank you, Doug, for all these years of service. Doug has left
You really
us.
turned it around, and we appreciate it.
But yeah, and they've got the 4 different coasters there, the Hiccups Wing Gliders too, the Intamin family coaster, right? Into How to Train Your Dragon.
That land, I think, is maybe going to be my favorite. That's the one I'm anticipating the most. And it's kind of funny because I did not see any of those How to Train Your Dragon movies when they first came out in the theaters. I saw them a few years later. I sat down to watch one and I was so impressed. I was like, wow, that was so good. And then I watched the sequels and just seeing how much detail they've put into that land, that they've built it up to really look like that whole island of Burke. Oh my God. I think that's going to be so cool.
This live action that they've got with looks like that film looks like it's going to be so good and brilliant of them to bring it back for the kids to get excited about Isle of Burke all over again. I mean, and isn't there a new Mario coming out for Switch or something? I don't know. My brother plays Nintendo Switch, so I don't know. It's some sort of new Mario. I thought that would make sense because, it's always going to be a new Mario. But yeah, that's, it's just, I can't wait. But I'm stressed about it in advance.
I hear you. I feel the same way, but I can't wait. And then also coming up, so do we know the opening date? It was Bond Luxury Park. Is that opening in 2026 now? Or is that opening this year?
I don't know.
In Mexico.
I think that was 2026.
Okay, so that's not on my list anymore for 2025.
But if you want a sneak peek of that, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they visit Vedanta World and Bond Theme Park in the last couple episodes of the season.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yeah, but they're at the resort and they have dinner and stuff and they talk about the rides and they show the rides. But, because they have the Ferris wheel that's like the one at Dino's Wonder Wheel.
Coney Island.
I was going to say the OG. Yeah. So they have something that's like that. And then they have a kind of drop tower or a parachute ride, right? That's open now. So I think they only have 2 attractions. But
so I think I'm wrong because according to RCDB, they are still slated to open 2025. Doesn't have a month, but all the coasters and the park say under construction opening 2025. So so I don't know, maybe later on this year.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, the sooner the better. And then because that park looks just amazing and lots of beautiful new rides.
Y'all, I can't believe I'm actually going to watch an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
It's so good.
We love it, but
I've never seen a Real House. I've always been proud. I've never seen the Kardashians and I've never seen Real Housewives. And guess what? I'm watching. Like, that's it. I have to go watch.
It's it's not, that extensive.
Because I want to see Bond so bad. I just can't. It looks so exciting. It looks. I just need to see it. So I will take spoilers of that.
And Qiddiya is slated to open 2025 still. I honestly hadn't thought about it, Doug, that we might have 3 major, heavily themed, whole new parks opening in 2025. Six Flags Qiddiya, Epic Universe, and Bon luxury theme park. That's amazing to me. Wow. Whew. Right?
Just double checking my savings account. Just double checking.
Right.
Double checking right there.
Yeah, Derek and I, we DJ in Puerto Vallarta pretty often. So I'm like, please book us to work when that opens. That'd be great.
Yes. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, we got to make that a trip then. Whenever you guys find out, get your DJing gig in Puerto Vallarta, and we've got to all go together.
Then let us know.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah. And then, of course, Mattel Adventure Park in Arizona, which is...
God! I forgot about that, too!
I think that was supposed to be last year.
Right, but it might be this year. Might be by the end of the year this year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
They originally slated it for the fall of last year, and then they pushed it, and they said it should open this year. So
let's go, Mattel. That's one I'll definitely be at for sure. It's driving distance. I got my outfit ready.
You got your lounge fly.
I do.
Yeah,
it's in plastic. I literally have a lounge fly ready to go. So let's go, Mattel.
yeah, what's the drive like from LA to Phoenix? Is that like 5 hours?
6 hours.
6? Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah.
And there's not traffic. I mean, once you get out of LA, it's not a lot of traffic. Yeah, so those are all which there's a lot of new theme parks opening. And then we do have some coaster openings internationally is it Wallaby or Wallaby, Belgium? I mean, I've been there a couple times, but I think it's Wallaby, right?
In Belgium, yeah, they pronounce the W like a W. So yeah, but I think it's pronounced Wallaby. Is how they.
Oh, what?
Not Wallaby, but Wallaby. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's in Belgium, and it's going to be Megalodon launch coaster, and they're retheming that whole area, or kind of retheming the attractions, and that looks really fun. And then so what is it?
Wallaby Holland.
The one in Holland. Count Dracula.
Wally World, Belgium.
The one in Holland has Yoy, which is the RMC dueling coaster. One is the more chill, one is more thrill, one has inversions, and it's dueling, and it hopefully will be dueling more than the other RMC dueling coaster duels.
Wow.
Well, right.
Calling them out.
Oh,
Shots fired.
which is usually just because of the guests taking their sweet time, putting their belongings on the other side.
True.
So it's the guests.
Totally. Yeah. Like during an ERT for an enthusiast event, you're going to get some duels. But yeah, so that looks fun. And then there's the Legoland. Oh, another theme park that's opening, Legoland Shanghai.
Wow.
So that's going to have the a Gerstlauer spinning coaster, the big Lego coaster, which is a B&M family inverted coaster.
Got all of the international ones. Thank you, Doug. Thanks, all three of you. I'm just going to say this. This is a bold statement that's about to happen. Or, you know what? Let me form it as a question. Are we living in the golden age of theme parks? This is when was the last year that you remember this many parks opening?
Never.
You're right. I don't remember. And I think it's just going to go from here. And then 2026, we already see that Universal Studios Hollywood and Six Flags Magic Mountain are constructing their big coasters. Oh, there's so much going on.
There's so much. We are very lucky. As enthusiasts, this is a good, lucky time to be alive.
Yeah, listen, with the the merger of Six Flags and Cedar Fair, and we see how quickly already they're really shaking up that whole chain, removing some things that had lower ridership and that were expensive to maintain and operate. And they're promising new things in every park there to replace those old things. So, and what I do like is that, we kind of had a big focus in the last decade on families, right? So many parks were building family coasters and make sure there was something for everyone to do. But now I think, we might be in an era where we're going to see a bunch of big thrills coming.
Mm-hmm. And next year too, Holiday Park is getting the Extreme Spinner.
Oh my goodness.
What is that? Extreme Spinner?
Yeah, like Ride to Happiness or
Time Traveler.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Six Flags Over Texas next year, 2026, is getting their B&M Hypercoaster, B&M Dive Coaster, which might be over 300 feet tall, right?
Yes, they so the permits came out, and I saw some photos of the site. It's basically going to go right where La Vibora was. They removed that in the fall. And it's going to be a 309 foot tall Giga dive coaster. I can only assume B&M. It didn't say that on the permit, but they're the ones who are making the big dive coasters. So, and man, the thing that excited me about that was seeing on the photo that was sent out, there were height waypoints along that, over the overhead shot of the site. and it was like 309 feet and 225 feet, 184 feet, 167 feet. I was like, these elements are going to be incredibly high. And so I'm hearing that 184 one might be an inverted top hat, which I don't think B&M's even done an inverted top hat. So we may get some new elements there. They may have the highest inversion in the world, at least for a short time. Well, I just found out because, usually they dive and do an Immelman, right? A lot of the B&M dives. And so if that first element was 225 feet high, I was like, wow, that might be the highest inversion in the world. But I just found out Six Flags Qiddiya has an inversion that's going to be like 248 feet high or something like that. Oh, wow. So, of course, Qiddiya, another record break. But either way, yeah, these are going to be some incredibly high elements. If that 167 foot point is, I'm speculating that maybe that's the mid-course break run and the second drop, as all the bigger dives have. And if so, that second drop will be bigger than a lot of the smaller, as I like to call them, the baby dives that have come out in the last few years. Like Valkyrie is 164 feet, dropping underground into a tunnel. So either way, I think having a Giga is, that's going to be cool.
So what are you the most excited for? Do you already have plans? Are you willing to say any like definites that you're definitely doing this year or going to see this year?
For me, I'm definitely, like I said, I'm already locked in for Hollywood Nights. Well, let's go in order. I'm locked in for Ace, SpringCon in Virginia. That's in mid-May. I got Hollywood Nights. I mentioned we're having a Bluesiest event on Saturday, June 21st in Florida. So that'll be mid-June. July, I've got a big trip planned to Japan.
That's right. You're going.
18 days and 17 nights. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, like I said, now I'm kind of looking at maybe doing Coastin by the Ocean in August and maybe a repeat run at Phoenix Fall Fun Fest in the fall.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. We'll see what else pops up in there. What are you guys thinking about doing?
Yeah, Doug, let's hear from you.
I'm definitely going to be at the Spring Conference and CoasterCon and Preservation Conference, but yeah, nothing. I would love to get to all of them. Nothing else planned. No flights booked for anything yet, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Same for you, Derek?
Yes, I plan on being at the big three ACE events and then trying to hit as many regional events as possible.
Nice.
And then, of course, we can all get together on the ACE digital events, too. We can see each other there. And during World Roller Coaster Appreciation Month, there'll be digital events all month long and presenters from different parks. And actually, this upcoming weekend is the ACE T-shirt Gala, which is all about preservation. So that's hopefully there'll be more galas throughout the year, too, where we can raise money for preservation of all these old, great classic coasters.
Yes.
Awesome. And, maybe we'll see each other. Nothing has been announced yet, but I know ACE often gets the opportunity to be at these coaster openings and media days. So, maybe I'll get to see you guys at one of the openings of these coasters that we just talked about.
We'll see. Got to keep an eye on your email. Make sure you're getting the emails from Ride with Ace. If you're not, make sure you reach out because that's usually how the media invites go out from Ace. So you got to be on top of that, of course. So that's something I got to check on myself. I'm writing more notes for myself. No, I get the emails. Definitely big three for me. And I want to go to so many things. I just got to see what this year shakes out to be. But this, let me just say, has totally cheered me up. For all three of you, thank you for the research that you did. This was so informative and so helpful to anybody who's sitting down with a calendar. I'm sure that they are just praising you and looking things up and just so grateful for this. So thank you, all three of you, for that work that you put in there and for cheering me up. So thank you to the three of you for your hard work.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thanks for talking with us. You made you put a smile on my face, and it was a good escape. So I feel a lot better.
Thanks.
Than
Thanks,
I did
Derek. What color blue are you now, Doug?
Neon blue.
Neon blue. That's good. That's brighter.
Oh, fabulous.
And to everybody listening, we hope that we cheered you up maybe out of your winter blues too. Remember that we don't want you to miss the registration for any upcoming ACE events. So make sure you're checking the website ridewithace.com under the events calendar, but also follow ACE everywhere you consume your social media, because we are on Facebook, Threads, Pinterest, LinkedIn, name all the places, Doug. Are we on Blue Sky yet? I don't know.
Yeah, we've been on Blue Sky. We're there.
Blue Sky. Sweet. Make sure you're subscribed to ACE's YouTube page and Instagram and TikTok and Discord, because we're always sharing coaster and park news and roller coaster construction updates. I saw the one that you guys just shared the other day at Six Flags Magic Mountain. That was awesome. And really, if you're not an ACE member, what are you waiting for? You can get so much out of an ACE membership. And did you know you can also gift memberships to others? Just saying, maybe, Valentine's Day, is this already aired? I don't know. Either way, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast. Give us 5 stars if you can, rate and review. And if you have any questions, comments, or podcast episode pitches for us, please reach out to podcast@aceonline.org. Thanks for listening. We hope you get to ride a coaster today.
A coaster today.
Ride With Us is produced by the American Coaster Enthusiasts, a registered 501c3 organization. Visit ridewithace.com for additional information, and we will see you at the parks.